all the time. That's why I've come up with the title of reinvention strategist, because I've gone from nonprofit to being in the business sector. And the biggest reinvention, I would say, is the stage that I'm in right now. So coming out of law school, I went to practice at a law firm, big law firm in Atlanta, still doing speaking on the side. And I started meeting a lot of professional athletes. And, you know, God will send you opportunities that's indicating to you that it's time to shift, it's time to reinvent, it's time to do something new. But, you know, here, that degree at Georgetown was a $150,000 investment.
Please don't talk about that. Yes.
I know. You know what that is like. You put in 3 years. It's a very rare experience to graduate, pass the bar, got this big, nice job on the 22nd floor overlooking Atlanta. And one of the things that was the first nudge and the first sign that it was time to reinvent and shift was I saw people. I had this beautiful office, but I could see people living their life, and I was in an office. And I got in. It was dark when I got into the office, and it was dark when I left. And I started meeting a lot of professional athletes, and that just started coming in droves. And I went to my firm to kind of let them know about these opportunities and that they were looking for legal representation. And what I found was resistance. This was also something I wrote about in Skirts in the Boardroom, was there was jealousy around other female attorneys looked just like me. There weren't very many,
right?
That were not happy about the media attention and the national speaking opportunities, and then these very lucrative, high-quality relationships that were kind of just coming. And so then I started hating going to work and had anxiety. And here I was, this employment lawyer, feeling like I was in one of the cases that I read about around harassment and losing weight and the stress and feeling sick just going to work. So I was like, something's got to shift. Something's got to give. I ended up leaving, and I started my own sports agency. And what I want to tell you about that is I remember I was sitting across from a partner at a law firm, one of the partners, and, you know, she said, you don't want to waste your law degree by going out and working for someone else. I said, I'm not working for someone else's sports agency. I'm going to start my own. And here I'm 26, less than 2 years out of law school, and I'm leaving the third largest firm in the city of Atlanta. And she looked back at me, first of all, shocked. And said I say she praised poop because she said, holy, you know what. And the thing that told me it was time to go is she said, but Marshawn, you're going to have, I kid you not, she said, you're going to have to buy your own pens and paper.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, you've been practicing longer than I've been alive.
Wow.
And that's the biggest fear you have. And I could see in her eyes that if you stay in a place for too long, you'll begin to believe that that's all there is.
Absolutely.
And then the things that are very minor seem major to you. You know, the level of experience and her accolades were something that anyone would take a full career to accomplish, but still to be afraid to go out on your own and to only have comfort in the traditional. And I knew in that moment that I did not want to be that senior partner sitting on the other side of the desk, that was not, there was a lifelessness to that and a fear that I could not embrace. So I start my own company. It goes really well, and through that I ended up closing that down because of a failed relationship in part. But that whole thing has kind of birthed into what I do now, which is teaching people just what I've been good at. And I didn't know I was, but it's just a lot of times the things we're gifted at, Nicole, the things that we're anointed to do, we don't go to school for those things, so we miss it. And we don't know how to develop it. But so what I've done in every season is I've always taught people what I already knew. If I was a kid, I was teaching people how to, when I was in elementary school as a cheerleader. When I was in sixth grade, I was teaching the fifth graders. When I was in junior high, I was teaching the elementary school kids cheerleading and modeling. And I paid my way through law school with speaking and teaching other Miss America contestants how to do it. And so now that's what I do today is I teach women how to build their brand and using the lessons that I've learned in building mine, using the lessons I've learned in helping to build brands for athletes and companies like HP, Office Depot, and Delta. And so I really look at myself just as a vessel of teaching.
Yes.
I've gone through the fire in terms of being out there, and now instead of just doing this for myself, I really feel like the season right now is about elevating other people to have voice and prominence and platform, because God has these messages that are waiting to come forth through new voices and new people, but we're stuck because of lack of strategy. And so hopefully that is like I knew I didn't even know where to